This episode of Marijuana Today Daily is brought to you by our friends over at Ease, California's top one-stop website for legal marijuana delivery. If you want top quality legal cannabis products that meet all of the Golden State's rules and regulations, then you want to open up ease.com to see if they're active in your neck of the woods. They have the entire state's different rules and regulations for cannabis delivery baked right into their system, and they're super strict about following all guidelines for state legal marijuana. That kind of attention to detail results in products you can trust, all available for delivery to your door at great prices, assuming you live where Ease services are available. Zip open ease.com, spelled E-A-Z-E, to see if you can place an Ease order where you live, and then scroll down to read all the useful and valuable bits of industry insight and analysis they've developed using their properly aggregated and anonymized sales data stream. Thanks to everyone over at Ease for all the support. Good morning, Marijuana Nation. It's Wednesday, June 6th, 2018, and you're tuned in to episode 505 of Marijuana Today Daily. I'm your host, Shay Gunther, and I'll be walking you through today's marijuana news and headlines. As always, we have a full and busy day of cannabis news in our hands, so let's jump right into it. Leading off today's top headlines is a bit of an odd one in that we have good news out of Michigan that state lawmakers did not legalize adult use marijuana via the legislative process. That's an odd sentence to say here on the show out of context, so I'll remind you that this is the storyline where Michigan Republicans have been mulling over passing a bill in the legislature to legalize adult use in order to accomplish two political goals, one being to depress progressive voter turnout in the fall, when a ballot question on adult use legalization is set to go before voters, and two, to pass a watered-down version of legalization to head off that more progressive ballot measure, which was pushed through by activists who collected more than 360,000 certified signatures. Yesterday was the deadline for passing legislation in Michigan, which did not happen for adult use marijuana, leaving voters to take up the question themselves in November. A much better outcome all in all. An update out of Florida as yesterday, Leon County Circuit Court Judge Karen Gievers ordered that her stay on her decision to allow registered medical marijuana patients to smoke their medicine be lifted. We picked up on this story yesterday as Judge Gievers held a hearing on the matter without an announced resolution on Monday. Yesterday, the judge followed up with an announcement that the stay would be lifted on June 11th. The state will still need to work out the rules and regulations for how marijuana flower can be processed and sold, and given the pace that Florida has been implementing medical marijuana, that could be who knows how long. But still, a big win on paper that will eventually mean more flexibility for Florida medical patients in taking their cannabis medicine. Our third and final story today is a headline out of Ohio that is sure to disappoint a lot of people in that state's medical marijuana world. Yesterday, the Ohio Department of Commerce said that the state would miss the legislatively set deadline of September 8th for the opening of their medical marijuana industry. A department spokesperson said that technically the medical marijuana legislation says that the program itself needs to be ready by September 8th, not the actual marijuana. That spokesman was unable to say when exactly medical cannabis would be ready for patients, only that it would be as soon as possible. Not a bad story to dive into fully. As always, we have all the news we cover linked to on our website at mjtodaydaily.com and on our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily. Those are our top stories for today. It's time for Marijuana Today Daily Headlines Blitz. Before we blitz on headlines, let's quickly thank our sponsor, Ease.com, California's top one-stop website for legal marijuana delivery. Ease is a great place to get your legal Golden State cannabis delivery because they're such sticklers for following all the right rules and regulations and just as strict about their partner dispensaries doing the same. That kind of laser focus on quality control and compliance results in top quality products at great prices. You don't have to take my word for it though. You can just open up ease.com, and if you're lucky enough to live in a part of California where they are active, place an order for yourself. And if you don't live where Ease service is available, and really even if you do, you can still open up ease.com to read all the useful and valuable bits of industry insight and analysis found over there. That's ease.com, spelled E-A-Z-E. All right, time for the blitz. We jump up to Canada for a headline where on Monday, the federal Senate voted by a count of 50 to 29 to reject an effort to delay the nationwide legalization of adult use marijuana. The effort was made by conservative prohibitionist lawmakers, but failed, clearing the way for the legalization legislation to go before the full Senate for a vote tomorrow. If passed successfully out of the Canadian Senate, the bill will head over to the House of Commons. Exciting stuff. Marijuana Moments Kyle Yeager picked up on a story that suggests that when it comes to marijuana strains and names and types, it's all just a bunch of bull. The study looks at 122 marijuana samples bought from various U.S. dispensaries and found little to no consistency when it comes to what different strains were called and sold as. Their findings show that when you buy something called sour diesel in any given dispensary, your guess is as good as anyone's as to what kind of cannabis you're actually getting. The study also suggests that there is no real distinction between so-called sativas and indicas. This is one of our industry's biggest blind spots, so please make sure to open this one up and share it widely. A new report from BDS Analytics and RFU Market Research has some new numbers for the industry, as it estimates that global legal marijuana spending was just under $10 billion last year, with most of that being made here in the U.S. The new report, titled State of Legal Marijuana Markets, was just released yesterday and estimates that the total amount of money spent on legal marijuana globally by 2022 will reach $32 billion. Colorado Governor John Hickenlooper dropped some more legislative vetoes yesterday, including on 2 marijuana-related measures. The first bill vetoed by Governor Hickenlooper would have added autism to the list of Colorado state medical marijuana qualifying conditions, while the second would have allowed publicly traded companies to invest in legal marijuana businesses. Those 2 vetoes follow another veto issued by Hickenlooper on a bill that would have allowed for cannabis tasting rooms, similar to those used in the beer brewing industry, from which Governor Hickenlooper made all his money from. No connection there, though, I'm sure. One quick note on this: I mentioned the possibility yesterday of the Colorado State Legislature overturning an earlier Hickenlooper marijuana veto. That would be nice, except that the Colorado State Legislature is not actually in session right now, so there's no chance at all of any veto being overturned. A survey out of Canada finds that nearly 2/3 of adult respondents who currently consume cannabis plan to switch over to the legal market. The survey also suggests that the average consumer expects to spend more money on marijuana once nationwide adult use legalization is fully implemented. Swing over to CTV News for the rest of the numbers and details on this one. With the second story of the day, Marijuana Moments Kyle Yeager spotted a report released yesterday by the U.S. Sentencing Commission, an independent body within the federal judicial system in charge of federal sentencing guidelines. The Commission's new report shows that the number of federal marijuana cases has fallen dramatically since the advent of state legal marijuana, though drug crimes do remain a large part of the overall federal law enforcement portfolio. Another good one to open up in full. And finally for today, we wrap up in Oregon, where the Oregon Liquor Control Commission will hold a public hearing on June 15th to discuss a proposed plan to crack down on marijuana diversion by outdoor cannabis cultivators. The OLCC wants to require outdoor marijuana growers to give the agency a heads up on their harvest window so that the OLCC can send inspectors to better ensure that no cannabis is diverted into the illicit market. The public hearing to discuss that idea will take place at 10 a.m. on the 16th in Portland, Oregon. You can click over to the Oregon Cannabis Connection for all the details on that storyline and planned meeting. Those are the headlines and news for the day. I'll be back with you again tomorrow morning with another information-packed episode of Marijuana Today Daily. But in the meantime, if you have any stories to share or feedback to give, zip us an email to headlines@mjtodaydaily.com. And while you're clicking around the interwebs, swing over to our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily and visit our website at mjtodaydaily.com to find links to all the news we cover. Thanks to our sponsor, Ease, and to all of our awesome patron listeners for the support that makes this show possible. To join the illustrious ranks of the patron listeners yourself, swing over to our website at mjtodaydaily.com and click on that big blue button at the top of the page that says Become a Patron. I'm your host, Shay Gunther. Thanks for tuning in and starting your day with marijuana today.
One take, Shay. One take.